You're listening to Secrets of Tomorrow's Leaders, brought to you by JCI Santa Clarita and RK Studios. My name is Corin Young, and I'm the host here. And I'm joined today by the co-chairs of SCV 40 Under 40 for 2022. And I'm going to start all the way on screen right, my left. This is Taj Jackson. She was an honoree in 2021, and she's an entrepreneur and Hollywood stylist. Welcome, Taj.
Thank you.
It's this is your first time doing a podcast with us.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm excited to talk to you about this stuff.
I'm excited too.
Arnold, to her right, my left, I guess in the middle of the screen here, is an honoree from 2016. He's a realtor and he's also a clerk with the Superior Courts. Welcome, Arnold.
Oh, thank you, guys.
I've had you in the studio for a different podcast.
Yes.
And it's good to see you again.
Yes, thank you. Welcome. I'm glad to be back.
So I've got some icebreakers here. These are called pod decks, and there's all kinds of different. I think there's probably like 52 different questions in here. Okay. And I actually don't know what question this is that I'm going to ask you guys, but I'm going to ask you the same question. How's that?
It sounds good.
Okay.
Ready?
I'm going to hit up Taj first for this one. My top 3 goals, and what am I doing to get there? So what are your top 3 goals? You have a lot of goals.
I do.
I know, you're very ambitious.
I know.
So let me know.
That's what I was like, oh, this is tricky. Top 3. I just want to be successful. Can that be a general? Can I do like a
that's general.
blanket?
I mean, but you have to tell me, how do you define success?
Success, I just want to be happy living and doing what I want to do. I want to marry my lifestyle and how I make my money and how I, live my life, basically.
Okay.
So basically love what I do, which is the path that I'm on. So I love what I do. I'm a stylist and entrepreneur. There's a lot of, like you mentioned, I have a lot of goals. So there's a lot of juggling with that, but definitely being successful with that balance.
Okay. Is that one thing? That's top one goal?
Yep.
Okay. What else?
Maybe can I actually now that I've been more involved with the community, there's something special about that to me. So I don't know if maybe these can be a lateral 3, maybe they don't have a ranking, but I really enjoy, now that I've tapped into various philanthropic groups, just giving back and being able to speak and have a platform to, spread the word or, talk about what's good, and just bringing awareness. And the third, 3.
I hope you're thinking of yours, Arnold. Yeah, okay.
My third, you know what? My third goal, I'll say for this quarter, is a successful event.
Yes.
Right.
That's
you've been
going to
working
be
on
in
this
my
one for a long
top 3.
time.
Yeah.
That's good.
Right.
That's one.
And don't say ditto on those.
Yes. Okay, so for me, my top 3, one is to become a parent. Me and Alex have been discussing that for quite some time, and we are moving in the right direction of doing that. We're thinking about going through adoption, so we're setting all that up.
I was going to say that's probably your best option.
Yeah, and we've tried the other way, but it's just not working.
Trying it for years.
For years, it's just not working. But that's one of my major ones that I'm working currently on.
Wow.
Second would be to continue moving up in my career. I do love working for Superior Courts. However, real estate is my passion. So if I could quit my day job and just do real estate all day, every day, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So I've joined a new team.
That's right.
Yeah.
I saw.
So I'm learning.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Who's your new team?
My new team is SJ Partners. It's with Charlene Dusick and Jessica Chambers.
Yeah, so your team photo.
Yes, they are some rock stars in the real estate business, and I'm looking forward to learning everything I can from them. And then third goal is just to be a lot more healthier. It's
Like physically?
Physically and mentally, just, all around emotional, all whatever health and wellness means to anyone. So that would be good, for me to work on this year. Yeah,
I think it's important to at least make a goal. I definitely believe in the power of goal setting. Like, we all have a lot of things where we're just like, yeah, someday I want to do this. But if we're talking about like right now in this quarter, I think just thinking about being healthy, kind of helps you get there. I'm not saying that you like will it, but if you're not thinking about it, then you're kind of like working against it, kind of, right?
Exactly.
And even just to piggyback off of the mental, it's very important these days. That's something also that I've been tapping into, is like, making sure that not, checking in with yourself, but also, your friends and family.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
So-
everyone's going through a lot, nowadays. It's
Yeah.
it's not as easy as it once was. Well, it's never been easy, but things are just a lot more challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just new challenges. It's just like
Right.
different
Right.
stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. Great getting to know you guys. Because I feel like I've known you guys for a while, but we never really talk about like deep stuff like that. So it's kind of
Yeah.
cool to hear.
It's always a community oriented something
Yeah.
or another, right?
Yeah. Well, we're very project based. Like we get
Right.
together towards a certain goal,
Right.
and that's how long lasting relationships are made. Now, we are here today to talk about SCV 40 Under 40, a project that is near and dear to my heart as a former honoree and a former co-chair. And so you guys have taken it upon yourselves this ridiculously hard task of co-chairing SCV 40 Under 40 for 2022. But for those who don't know, what is SCV 40 Under 40, Arnold?
So SCV 40 Under 40 is a celebration of 40 individuals who, through a selection process, are chosen by community leaders that are doing great things in the Santa Clarita Valley and surrounding areas. Antelope Valley, San Fernando Valley, I believe. They're not just gaining success in their careers, but they're also giving back through community leadership, other organizations, and they're just all around rock stars. So one night a year, we do, a big celebration where they come, they pick up their award, and everyone, they get a chance to network with others, like-minded individuals who, like them, are doing amazing things in our valley.
There's so many people. I guess when you think about it, between all of the different high schools, I'm just thinking if there's like 1,000 graduates a year from each one, we have like 6,000 new 18-year-olds every year. So I'm just trying to figure out how many new people could potentially join this class. And of them, we narrow it down to just 40 people every year, 40 new people that have really contributed to the community. What is the criteria? How do you choose who is best for that? Taj, how would you describe the criteria and the process?
So to your point, it is 18 to 40. That is the age range. And as you mentioned, every year, it just seems like it just keeps growing, every year. Also, community leadership is definitely a huge criteria. And you want to make sure that even though there's a separate selection process, so I don't have the key to who wins, but that's a separate process. And so, 18 to 40 as of, I think your birthday has to fall by, the date of the event, right? So to get into that. But then, community leadership is definitely a huge one.
Yeah. So it's anyone who, you have to be that age, you got to live or work or volunteer somewhere in Santa Clarita.
We jokingly say live, work, or play,
Yes.
in and around the Santa Clarita area.
Right.
Yeah. Who is this committee? Because I know a lot of people, when you're the co-chair, you're going to have people thinking that you are the one who selects the winners. You're going to be offered a couple of bribes, right?
Right.
Absolutely not.
Okay. I guess I wasn't offered any bribes either. But but we got no say at all. Like who is on the selection committee?
So to keep the integrity of the program, the co-chairs have nothing to do with the selection process. All information is submitted via website, and then that is then printed off and given to a selection committee of community leaders. So say, industry leaders of like marketing, education, you have politicians, all these different criterias of people who have been in the Santa Clarita Valley for ages or who are here and doing amazing things already. And they're the ones who are choosing this year's 40 Under 40 honorees.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I think there's always like an odd number. I think there's either like 7 or 9 people on the committee, and they're all like representing different facets of like business or nonprofit in the community, and they kind of go through all of the different honorees or the nominees and kind of advocate for or against them. Hey, this person sounds awesome, and here's why. Or this person doesn't do a whole lot.
So when you're nominated, like you you have 30 days after nominations have closed. Currently, nominations have closed. We do have our nominees list. It closed, I think, on the
16th.
The 16th.
16th of September. Okay.
The 16th of September. And so, come 30 days after, so October 16th, they need to submit a cover letter explaining why they deserve to win 40 Under 40, 2 letters of recommendation, along with a resume and a headshot. And then the selection committee will then meet, some night in October and choose the 40 Under 40 honorees.
You know what the hardest part of submitting all that material is? Well, a couple of things. One, asking people for a letter of recommendation is tough, right? Because they're always like, what do you want me to say? I don't understand this. Like they're just, can you give me a template? They should do a better job of, explaining what they need from us. But the truth is, when you're recommending somebody for an honor, you have to take it upon yourself to be a leader and like ask for the letter of recommendation. And the other hardest thing, the one that I was first thinking of, is the cover letter. It's hard to brag about yourself for a lot of people in our community. Like a lot of the doers have a hard time explaining all the volunteerism that they do. And we found in the past that particularly young women have a really hard time like bragging about their accomplishments. And is that something that you struggled with?
It's actually interesting. As you were going through the criteria of last year, I was like, oh, I did do that. I did have to go get, but I had the thing about letters of recommendation is you have to go to someone that would refer you, which is also, I'm in a referral business as well. So your name, you got to make sure that, you're just an individual in the society that is really doing the things that you want to be recommended for. So that was a very awesome opportunity to know that I have people I can go to that will write a letter for me. I need to dust off my resume, and then to your point, writing the letter about yourself, sometimes it's hard to, just do what you do, love what you do. But then, like you said, brag is definitely, it's a good way to describe it, because it's like, hey, these are all the things I do, but I don't do it for like bragging rights or anything like that.
Yeah, that's why it's weird to brag about it.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to...
I do it from my
It's
heart.
hard to say it and still sound like you're coming from a place of being like humble.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, so how is it done? Do you guys have any tips for the nominees this year on like how to best write a cover letter or how to ask for letters of recommendation?
So
how do they improve their odds?
So, for the cover letter, and me coming from the military, like when I went, I was in the military, so I already had like a I love me, folder that kind of, that's what they called. That's what they called it, in the military. Like
they have an I love me folder.
Yeah, you have to keep that, and you have to put all the stuff that you're doing, because we had to write basically the cover letter for our evaluations.
Oh.
So, come eval time, you submit like, okay, this is all the stuff I've done. So, if you haven't already started compiling that, all the amazing things that you have done, maybe talk to your superiors and, ask for their advice on, how you've shown up and done your job and, been amazing, like all the organizations that you do volunteer for, and like ask them like, what are some things that you have noticed, about me, because I'm trying to create this cover letter for this award. Just reach out. It's all about reaching out. Reaching out and finding those who support you, because you are such an amazing individual. So just find those people and ask them like, what are some things that they would say about you, and you can utilize that in the cover letter.
Who's good to ask for a cover letter? Your parents, your boss?
Actually, I was gonna say. So now that I think back, who I went to for my cover letter was a former president of my sorority, and also my business. She's my business director. So those were two people that I highly respected and have a relationship and a rapport with, that I was able to ask this, and actually they came and sat at my table. So it was just an amazing experience.
Wow.
And that's what I was literally thinking, who would you want to sit with you?
Yeah, I'm thinking like a lot of people don't know. You ask a teacher, whatever. Like I feel like you want to ask somebody who's kind of hierarchically, like in society, who's like a few levels above you,
It's
somebody
reputable.
who's like
Yeah.
who's got some clout,
Yeah.
who like who their word has some weight.
So, you're asking your supervisor, your boss,
Yeah.
maybe your boss's boss, if you have a relationship with them, community organization leaders that you've helped out with or, been a part of. So, it's just reaching out to people that with, like you said, with some clout and that you have respect for.
Yeah.
I mean, your parents, they're going to say they love you no matter what.
Right.
So that's
Right.
probably not the best unless they're just someone in the community that,
unless they own a local magazine.
right. Then that'd be great. But other than that, it's just, those around you who have clout and you do respect.
Yeah.
And I think even as you're writing your letter and you're reflecting upon your humble brag of accomplishments, think about who's sharing those experiences and moments with you. Think about, if you went and did, a park cleanup, who was there with you and who, did you rely on? I remember there was a time where, and this is just funny because ironically, this is the woman who wrote my letter as I'm saying this, but I was doing a park cleanup and I almost like rolled my ankle, like trying to get, down the hill, but she caught me.
Oh.
And she like had my back and she didn't let me fall. So.
Did she mention that?
No, this is literally coming to me right now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm tearing up just thinking about like, the people that you have in your life and the moments that you share.
You know what I'm thinking could really help your odds of winning? I think the power of storytelling in your cover letter, like rather than saying, I'm so awesome, I did this and I did this and I led that and I made this, that if you, even somebody who's done less things, if you start off with saying, I grew up in Santa Clarita, single mother, we were living in our car for a while. We didn't have a place and, we had our struggles. But if you kind of like open up with like whatever your personal struggles are, like it makes you very human and relatable. So you're not coming right off the bat with I'm awesome and I'm braggy. Mm-hmm. And then if you talk about like where you've achieved in getting yourself somewhere, and then I like to volunteer at the homeless shelter because I know how easy it can be to get in that position. But I feel like everything that we do as volunteers, we're not just doing it because to pass the time or whatever. But I feel like we all have a reason, like some kind of connection there. Yeah. And I feel like sharing that connection through the power of like a story, like don't make like something up. But
yeah, I really like that.
That definitely helps because I've actually sat in the selection committee room several times, like while making a video to show the validity of it, and I've seen the things that work and the things that don't. Mm-hmm. And so I hope I'm not giving away like too much information here, but I've seen people that go to a lot of events and have the selection committee look at it and say, okay, this person goes to everything, but they're clearly just a schmoozer. Like they're out there passing out business cards and just trying to rub elbows, and they're not there for the attention or for the kudos. Or there was somebody who every single one of their philanthropic achievements is we donated to this charity, we donated to this, we donated to that, and that's great. We definitely need people like that, but I guess that's just not a leader in the community.
So to piggyback off of that, so back to in the military, when we did our own evals, they would say, don't just mention what you've done. You always ask yourself, why am I doing this?
Okay.
So if you can't find a good reason why you're doing this, like, oh, I did this because, my superiors told me to do it. That's not good. That's not going to look good. But if you, like you said, if you were once homeless and you started volunteering at the homeless shelter because you know how it feels to not have anything and not have anywhere to go, and that drives you to continue going back and giving back to that organization, that would really speak volumes for someone during the selection process, rather than, like you said, I donate here and I go to this event and, whatever, my so-and-so is a so-and-so, it's not the best, look for someone. You got to look at it like a college application letter. It's like they want someone who's diverse. We want someone who's, who has some substance about them, not just, oh, I do great because I am great. So always ask yourself why. Why you're doing what you're doing, and then put that on paper and then submit that.
Yeah, that why is really important. We actually did a training about that in our chapter. I guess it was 2 years ago now. It's called, What's Your Why? Michelle Lamborena led that for us, and find out like, why do you do what you do? And I'm thinking now, we did another podcast like a year ago with Mallory Staley and Michelle Ray about fundraising. And, she says, are there any causes that you donate to regularly? And I said, yeah, but not a lot. Like if I have a friend who's running like a 5K or something, I might give like, $20 here, $20 there. And then like, to Wikipedia, but it's always like, $5, $10, $20, like whatever, just because there's a lot of them and it's just a little bit here and there. And she's talking about people that donate like $500 a year or more. And she shared a personal story about, something that happened with her son when he was sick, and how she got like a care package from some organization that she never heard of that deals specifically with that issue. And now there's like, she joins the organization and funds them so, to help out other parents in that same position. But I guess all it takes is to like lose one grandparent to Alzheimer's before now you're doing like big things in the Alzheimer's walk or, the Relay for Life or something like that. But those are the people that cause really means something to them.
Yeah, because you've experienced it, so you know firsthand, what these people are going through.
Yeah.
Like I'm big on mental health. I have family members who struggle with, mental health diagnoses, and it's something big, in my family. So I like dealing, and interacting with those causes because I know firsthand what these people are going through. And it might not be 100% of, because everyone's situation is different, but I do get the gist of like, hey, you have a family member who's sick and you can't help them. So how do you help them? I understand that. So what about you, Taj? Like, have you had any organizations that you've been a part of that you have a personal connection to?
Oh, yes. So personal connection, definitely. One of the major organizations that I'm a part of is Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and I'm in the graduate chapter, and we do a lot for the community. We just sponsored a tiny home to piggyback off of your, moment with the homeless that you were sharing. We are also looking to grow that as well. It's just amazing that you can be a part of a group that makes a difference if we all just like put in a little bit.
What the heck kind of sorority is this? Because the typical image of a sorority,
it's graduate school,
it's just
so
like
we're grown.
All the funky, drinkers with the
no keg parties.
It's just like a bunch of airheads. And when you're like, Phi Alpha, whatever, incorporated, like since when did sororities incorporate and have like, causes?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest projects that I've been on recently. And actually I want to branch out and do more of a clothing drive aspect to add to it. It's very important that, especially during these times, that people have a safe space that they can go to. To your point, you could have lost everything, who knows? You could be, out of the foster care system and you have nowhere to go. So it's just important that that's one of the groups that, is really near and dear to my heart, that we really do give back. And that's the like latest, biggest project that I can think of that we've done, but are continuing to work towards more greatness.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah. See, you're changing the image of sorority sisters everywhere.
Okay, that's good.
That is a good thing. So the next step for all of the nominees, they're working on their packets. They're going to submit them. Then they're going to go through this whole selection committee process. How are they notified if they're selected?
So we're going to kind of piggyback off of last year. I think people were notified via email, explaining, what the next step was. Congratulations, you have been selected as an honoree, but they also see it in Santa Clarita Magazine. So
I think that's actually probably the first thing.
That's the first thing, and then comes the email.
Like where their neighbor's going to email them first, like, hey,
I saw your face.
I see you in the magazine.
So look out, for the November issue of Santa Clarita Magazine, and that will...
The November issue. Cool. Yeah. So for those, for the nominees wondering, why the heck do you need a headshot? Are they going to be looking at this and judging me based on that? That's not part of the selection process.
No.
That's just to publish your face in the magazine.
Correct.
Right.
Once, if and when you are selected.
Correct.
Right.
And then, so that'll be like October 1st ish in that magazine, right?
November 1st.
November 1st.
November 1st. It'll be in homes everywhere.
I got you. Okay. And then there's the nominee mixer. So before anyone even knows if they've been selected.
So you know, we welcome everyone to come out and join us on October 18th at Salt Creek around 6:00 for a cocktails and just, you know, to be around like-minded people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I really like this event too, because this is the other nominees who were selected as well, and you get a chance to meet and mingle and be in that room of like-minded individuals. So I think it's a really cool opportunity to meet other thought leaders in the community.
Yeah. So you'll meet with other 2022 nominees, but you might also meet with former honorees, right?
Alumni.
Former honorees,
Yeah.
alumni,
Yeah.
correct. And other community leaders, you know, will come out and enjoy the time. So
Yeah, that'll be a cool event. So October 18th, 6 p.m. What day of the week is that?
I think it's
So-
Tuesday.
I think it's a Wednesday. I think we moved it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not sure.
Whatever it is, we know it's October 18th.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's at Salt Creek Grill. So that'll be like the next big thing. One thing I want to ask you guys, over the course, I've gone to the last 5 40 under 40 galas. I was an honoree in 2017. And the theme was, I think it had kind of like an Asian theme, because there were like Asian dances from De Wilfrey, and then there was like, you know, like a Chinese salad or something like that, and the decor. We've done different themes. Like the year that I co-chaired it, the theme was like Hollywood red carpet premiere and stuff. Last year's theme was Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom of the Opera.
And we have an all new theme this year. Taj, what are we doing this year?
We're doing Viva Las Vegas. So we're going to have a game, and it's going to be a cocktail hour.
You're actually gonna have games to play?
Mm-hmm. So we're going to have games. We're going to have Vegas lights.
Oh, that's so cool. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Bet on yourself.
Did you just make that up? Or
Yep.
You've been using that.
No, I just bet on yourself.
Well, you got to use that slogan.
Yes.
That's so good. I really like that. You have anything to add about the theme?
So, you know, we have a couple games like Taj had mentioned, like, you know, craps, roulette, probably not poker because that's going to take a little too long. We do have, you know, kind of like a longer cocktail hour that we're going to give people.
It's 2 hours, right?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
going to be
cocktail,
about
2 hours.
So we'll give you a couple hours
Yeah.
to
to
play.
enjoy yourself.
That's good
Yeah.
because I know that in the past, some people are coming like right after work, and so you know you want to give time to schmooze and everything too. You don't want to just have, as soon as the award show's over, people are out of there.
Right.
So you got to have the celebration ahead of time.
Yeah, have the
we
fun.
want to make it a
before.
big deal for everyone. So, you know, you're being published in the magazine, you know, you want to have the cocktail 2 hours so you can do games and, you know, kind of schmooze with everyone. And then you have the actual award ceremony, you know, with family and friends. The honorees do get a free ticket, and then tickets will go on sale, I believe, sometime in early November. They will be on
That
sale.
makes sense.
After you found out that you've
Yeah,
been a
right.
winner.
Yeah.
So just look up. You can check on scv40under40.com. You can also submit all your nomination nomination information, like your letter of recommendation, your 2 letters of recommendation, your cover letter, your resume, and your headshot, all on that website as well. And this year's event will be at Blumgren.
Blumgren Ranch, yeah.
On November 17th. So look out for your photo in the magazine, and we really look forward to seeing you all here.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool. Yeah, Blumgren Ranch. I had never even heard of that before last year's event, and it's a
beautiful.
really cool venue. I've been there
Yeah.
a couple times
Gorgeous.
now. I wanted to ask you guys, chairing 40 under 40 is such a big deal. It's a lot of responsibility, and it takes, you know, you basically start working on it as soon as like the previous year ends up. You guys have never chaired this event before. I don't know
No.
what kind of events you have chaired, but you're both 40 under 40 honorees, right? You're both alumni, and you both have sponsored the event in the past. And I think that's kind of a unique position to be for a co-chair, to be now, you know, soliciting sponsorships and trying to find a venue and everything. So I'll start with Arnold. What made you want to chair it? That's such a big job.
So I've never done something like this before, and I'm always looking for something new to kind of hone my skills. And the fact that we're getting to meet and kind of schmooze with like-minded thought leaders, as Taj would say, was perfect for me. I enjoy meeting new people. I enjoy getting out there in the community and seeing what other amazing things other people are doing. So this was a no-brainer for me to say, hey, Taj, I would love to join your team and work out with this. And one thing with JCI, and that one thing I do love about this organization is, even though you haven't done something like this before, you have leaders previous from previous co-chairs like you or my partner Alex, who are willing to, hey, this is what worked for us, and kind of give us that guidance and help when needed. So I don't know, it's there have been challenges like everything, but it's been pretty easy because we have a lot of people supporting us and making sure it goes pretty well.
Yeah. Are you still maintaining your I Love Myself album, by the way?
I always maintain my I Love Myself album because you never know.
Well, if this goes well, I'm pretty sure it will.
It'll be in there.
You can add this to it. Taj, why did you want to co-chair the event?
I thought last year was such a phenomenal event when I took part of it as the decoration chair. I just wanted to kind of get my feet wet. I just joined JCI that summer, and I really wanted to start doing more local give back and joining organizations that mirror that want for what I want to do. And when I went, it was so amazing how everyone came together. Everyone did their part, and the event was so beautiful. It was so flawless. We were still like, wait, what? Did anything go wrong?
No,
it literally was such a magical night, a beautiful space. That's why, even going back for the tour this year, they were wanting to work with us again. And it was just a no-brainer for me, because even the accolades that I received and the love and support, it just made me feel really like, you're doing it, girl. You're really making a difference, and you're being recognized for that. So for me, I don't know, you guys are making me cry. I'm like, it's so beautiful. But no, really, it's just so special that I've wanted to go after my dreams and just make a difference and really just be that resource. Even though I have like 50 million things going on all at the same time, I try to be as present as possible. But I knew that needed to happen by joining JCI because I live in Santa Clarita.
Yeah.
So I want to do more things and be more present in Santa Clarita as much as I can be. So even putting this event together this year with Arnold and Alex has been very helpful as well. I feel like he's like
the third co-chair.
But
he's co-chaired it 3 times.
Yeah.
So he knows what's up.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just amazing to just have that support, and it's just been an amazing experience just joining JCI and seeing like the different things that we all do. I can't make it to everything, but I'm really trying to just be more present. So this is definitely a way to do that.
Yeah. No, you were not only like doing a million things. With 40 Under 40 last year alone, you were one of the honorees. And before you even found out that you were selected, you were also the chair on one of the committees, and you were one of the top sponsors. So that was kind of like you were kind of...
I was invested.
I
took a bet on you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to start using that.
I like that. I like that a lot. What was your experience, like if you had to describe to one of the nominees this year, like, oh, should I even submit my paperwork? Like, what's going to happen if I get selected? Like, what would you tell them was your experience of being recognized that night?
Being recognized was beyond my wildest. I didn't even realize, even to mention the accolades, you're recognized by the city, the state. You're recognized on such a national level for what you've done. It's just so beautiful to be doing what you know in your heart and your soul that you want to do to give back, and you're actually getting recognized for it amongst your loved ones in a beautiful space amongst beautiful people. Like it was just such an amazing
You're dressed to the nines.
Dress.
Yeah.
Listen, that's important. That's very important. Dress. I love to be in a room.
Yeah,
with
from two
people that
stylists.
dress.
You guys are all about that.
Yeah. So I might have teered off. I don't even remember what we were.
Oh, I was just asking you about your experience of being recognized that night.
Oh, yeah.
And you explained it.
Yeah.
Arnold, for you, like yours was years ago.
Yeah.
But I don't think it had changed too much. How would you describe the feeling of that night? Like what happened?
Just like what Taj was saying, it's a magical night. You're dressed to the nines. You are amongst friends and family, as well as other like-minded individuals who are sometimes it was a little how would you say it was a little unnerving because you would hear some of the things that other people have accomplished, and you're like, well, why am I here?
Yeah.
But then you get up there and you receive your award, and they go along with go down the list of all the things you've done and what you've accomplished, and you're like, wow, like I've done a lot. And then you take your award and you just enjoy the night with your friends and your family, and just have just a magical time. I don't know, just for me it was so surreal, really. I was like, okay, what just happened? And when it was over, it was like, okay. And then I probably like hang my award up, well, I don't have an office, but I have an office at home, and I just go in there and I'm like, well, look at me, look at what I've achieved.
I've got mine hanging in my bedroom.
Oh, see,
I'm proud of it. Yeah.
I'm very proud of my award.
It's so funny. Your I Love Me folder that you created. So I actually created, and I almost like feel like I'm like, is this vain like to do this? But I have like this.
Be vain. Let's hear it.
I have this like bookshelf that I inherited from one of the shows that I worked on. It's like a little simple IKEA white bookshelf, but like I put my accolades and I've turned it into kind of like a little stationery, like with cards kind of thing. So I put like my accolades and like my stationery, because I'm a gift giver, so I'll put like little gifts and things on there. And sometimes if I'm like creating something, I'll put some like little beads or whatever like in there, just because it's a space that I'm like, this is you. I don't even know how to explain it. But
So see, I only have a folder. You have like a whole shelf.
no.
A big box.
But that's it's also I give cards off of the shelves.
Yeah.
So
But it's good. It's good to remind yourself of like, that good things that you have are going through in life, because life is hard.
Yeah, that's why I don't. That's why I don't hate your little folder, because I feel like there's so many people that probably have like an I hate myself.
Yeah.
oh my
outlook,
God, yeah.
right?
And it's a record that keeps replaying in your head. So
And I didn't know that the military, encouraged like really builds leaders. Like the for me I guess the idea of like a soldier is like you go out there and you do what they tell you to do, and when you're done, it's like, all right, well, thanks a lot for your service.
No.
But they're like. They really built you up.
Yeah,
That's
they
good.
build camaraderie and leadership, because your lives are on the line. You can't just mess up.
Yeah.
So you have to be attention to detail, and you have to look out for your fellow soldier, sailor, Marine.
Were you in the Army?
No, I was in the Navy.
Navy.
I was in the Navy.
Wow.
So
I came close. I almost joined the Navy.
Oh, it's good. It's good. I recommend it for every single person.
Nah, too late.
My dad and my brother, Navy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how
They
cool.
tried to get me, and I did.
You wanna do it?
No.
Oh man. My experience, when I was nominated for SCV 40 Under 40, this was 2017. I was like, what is this organization? I wasn't familiar with it. And I had to get letters of recommendation. So I had been volunteering with SCV Safe Rides for years. I did this as a teenager. And it was a group that we had volunteer teens go out and give other teens a safe, free, confidential ride home if they had been drinking. And nowadays, you don't need that. In fact, the program just closed up a couple years ago. But I volunteered as an adult with them, as an adult advisor for years. So I had the founder and executive director write me a letter of recommendation. And for my second one, I was volunteering for College of the Canyons on the steering committee for the Media and Entertainment Arts department. And so I had one of the chairs of the department there write me a letter of recommendation, and he did. And I thought that they were pretty good. when I found out that I was actually selected, I found out through the magazine. Somebody called me or emailed me, and they're like, "Hey, congratulations!" And I had no idea. And I'm like, "Oh, I gotta flip through the magazine." I don't even think I got it that day. I think maybe I got it the next day or something. But it was a really cool experience, and I got to go to the mixer and meet a bunch of people. And so for me, the cool thing about it was, I felt like I was only being recognized because I was a volunteer with Safe Rides for like 5 years as an adult. And I was just doing this one thing. But when I got to meet like all of the other nominees even, these people are volunteering in all kinds of different things. And I'm like, how did I not know that any of these other organizations existed? And so it was cool to meet people that kind of like their heart was in the same place as mine, or even people that I went to high school with that I haven't seen in forever. And it's like, oh, what are you working on these days? And like connecting with people that I want to be with. And that's actually why I joined JCI, because I was like, wow, a whole group of people that are like into the same stuff that I am. But then my experience at the event itself was so cool, because I brought my parents there, and during the cocktail hour, I'm schmoozing with our city council members, and Assemblyman Dante Costa was there. And so like, I'm taking pictures with him, and they call me up on stage, and they're giving me like they're reading this whole bio that they wrote about me, which was so cool, and people are cheering, and I go up there and I'm getting pictures and this beautiful plaque. And I'm getting a certificate from Congress and the Assembly and the city and our state senator and our district supervisor. I mean, it was like 10 different like certificates, and then there's like a swag bag. It was really a phenomenal experience to have so many things, and I think people don't realize that. And when I joined JCI, I didn't realize this, but every 40 under 40 honoree gets a free year.
Correct.
If they activate it like within the next couple months.
Yeah.
And I wish that I had met this organization much earlier. I tell people this, because I didn't find the organization until I was in my late 30s. And for the people that are joining in their 20s and early 30s, like, you can get so much out of this.
Yeah.
Exactly. My core group of friends,
our
it's
JCI.
like networking group. Yeah. It's just, this is definitely where it's at.
So to speak to that, there's benefits of winning 40 under 40. It's not just, the amazing award that you're getting, or the, recognition you're getting from, like you said, the government and government officials, and the community. It's, you get that free membership, and with that free membership, throughout the year that you're with us and longer, hopefully, you're getting, training, you're getting, to grow your network of friends, being around like other thought leaders and like-minded individuals. It's we have our fun, and it's just, we're always growing, and we're always pushing each other to do better. So that's one of the significance of getting the award and then coming and joining JCI afterwards.
Yeah. It sounds like a good plan for anyone who's currently nominated. Don't forget to send in your paperwork, because it's an experience that I think you don't want to miss out on. We've all been benefited by it.
Yeah. And the perks are really good. Now that we're going over them, I'm like, that is right. I did get all of those things. Free membership, all the accolades, beautiful night.
Yeah, you forgot about all that?
No, I forget. That's why we're here.
You got to put it in your I love you box.
I know.
Her shelf.
My shelf.
So once again, the event is going to be on November the 17th. It's at Blomgren Ranch in deep in Canyon Country, like off Sierra Highway, right?
Yes.
Yes. If you drive too fast, you're going to miss the sign.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And it's a Viva Las Vegas theme.
Yes.
So
come bet on yourself.
Whose idea was this, the theme, the Vegas theme?
So it was actually one of our committee members. We originally wanted something different, but because the original space we were looking at wasn't going to work through, and then we had such a good relationship with Blomgren, the committee members suggested, well, we've done that before. Why don't we try this? And we thought, hey, that's a great idea. Let's go ahead and run with it. So
because we almost did a Hollywood theme that you just mentioned. So
I like the there's a lot of decorations that we have still, so we can reuse stuff like every couple of years, because it's a whole new class of people. But I'm really
we wanted to be different.
I'm excited to see what you guys do. So that's going to be so cool. So November 17th, 6 p.m., Blomgren Ranch. Nominee mixers coming up on October the 18th.
Yep,
South
6
Creek Grill,
p.m.
6 p.m. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me
you.
on
Thank you.
Secrets of Tomorrow's Leaders. It was really great talking to you and hearing about the event. For everyone else, you're listening to Secrets of Tomorrow's Leaders. This podcast is available on all the platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora. If you got any value out of this, or you think that somebody might be interested in some of the information that we shared, feel free to share it with a friend. Give us a 5-star review, and we'll see you on the next one.